では続きまして第3部です。国際協調の中の国際金融都市と題しまして
the global financial city in international corporation. There will be a keynote lecture from Ms. Fumiyo Harada, who is the managing executive officer from the Development Bank of Japan. Please give Ms. Harada a warm round of applause to welcome her. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Harada from the Development Bank of Japan, and I am in charge of GX in the DBJ, and I have been invited to speak. Also, I am involved in the FinCity Tokyo initiative, and I am the board member. So, from those two roles, I would like to speak today in front of you. So this is the last session, so I would like to talk a little bit by looking back at what was discussed in today's sessions. After that, I would like to talk about sustainability and decarbonization, financing related to it, and how that would be impacting Tokyo as a financial city. And last but not least, I will be talking about various initiatives held by FinCity Tokyo. There were many things discussed, many keywords were brought up. In the session 1, the current status of sustainable finance. So there was the discussion about the expectation from PRI. Mr. David Atkin talked about what kind of expectations that he had for Japan, as well as the importance of Japanese market. Mr. Horimoto talked about the importance of transition finance and its response to the climate change. So there was guidance created from FSA, and the financing to new technology, of course, is important. But provision of consultation and the solutions to the clients would be as important. So another point was the official launch of Asia GX Consortium, and I was invited to the launch ceremony and together with other financial institutions. I was able to be on board in the official launch of this, and it was very exciting. Together with the financial authorities as well as the Asian financial institutions, new policies will be created and new initiatives will be taken. There was a discussion about the current challenges for promotion of sustainable finance. So there was a discussion about the expectation towards the transition finance from the shipping industry. There needs to be practical approach taken. And also, there was introduction of Wind Challenger from MOL and from Daiwa Securities. There was a mention about the development of SDGs bonds in Japan, and also the evolution of the transition bonds, inclusive of GX Economic Transition Bond. In addition, there was an insight from the European perspective about the similarity of the sustainable financing in Europe to Japan. And also, there was a discussion about the importance of rating as well as carbon credit trading. In the session 2, there was a discussion made on the future of sustainable finance. The current status of ISSB criteria as well as key points were introduced. ISSB Secretariat is in Tokyo, and this shows that Tokyo is a financial city. So looking at Asia Pacific from Tokyo will be the key and the theme of looking at the future after the realization of the hydrogen society. So how the demand can be generated and how the financing can be done was discussed. The importance of hydrogen supply chain, producing and consuming locally, as well as the importance of fund as provision of finance were discussed, and that left a big impression on me. Initiatives and challenges for the penetration of renewable energy was discussed as well. Perovskite solar cell challenges and the key to penetration were presented. The strategy on the storage battery for grid users and rollout to international market was discussed. And from a DBS Bank, there was information sharing about the renewable energy financing in Asia. The key word was blended finance. The Japanese financial institutions, as well as Japanese technology and Japanese the corporations, how they can contribute in the Asian market will be an important perspective. The Tokyo as international finance city and the financing on sustainability and decarbonization. The policy approach towards decarbonization has two approaches. The balance between the regulation and the subsidy from the government. In the case of Europe, it's more regulation, and North America or US is more about the provision of subsidies. So it's not which is better or worse. So the important point is where you focus on. So who would be taking the burden of the cost and the risk, and how that would be shared will be critical, and each country would be taking unique approaches. So this shows the business stages and financing for the decarbonization technology. Early stage has higher risk, and when the technology is not well established, the financing by the corporations as well as subsidies and venture capitals were providing the finance. When the scale becomes bigger, the private sector financing from the banks or the infrastructure funds and institutional investors would come in. But in between, there is a death valley, and how the initial market could be created is the challenge. And the valley must be filled, and the gap must be bridged. And the blended finance will be the key. The mix of public money and private money should be used intelligently. So if you look at the concept of the international financial city Tokyo, so there in 2021, there was upgrading of this concept to 2.0, and becoming the financial hub of Asia. The financing for problem solving are put here as keywords. So this is material made by TMG. To become innovation hub in Asia is the target of Tokyo to become the international financial city, and it also wants to become the hub of finance. Subsidy provided to corporations, the public-private funding. They have prepared these funding as well, and so this is the carbon credit trading for SMEs. The TMG has prepared the various solutions for the players in this area, inclusive of SMEs. The maximum results should be derived from the smart use of this. Last but not least, I would like to talk a little bit about FinCity Tokyo. So FinCity Tokyo was created from the concept of Tokyo becoming an international financial city. In 2019, it was created as a promotion organization in April of 2019. I would like to talk about two initiatives related to our topic today. First is EMP, Emerging Managers Program. We want to grow the asset managers who are starting up. There's not many emerging asset managers for various reasons in Tokyo. And one of the reasons why is because there is no support program sufficient to grow them. So why is emerging manager important? So this overlaps with the financing graph that I have shown you earlier. During the emerging period, venture capitalists would play an important role. So after they are listed, they will go through the growth market and the prime market. And there they would be provided the funding from the private funding. Many people will analyze the company and they will be able to get the funding. But in the middle is the gap. So the emerging managers, they will start small and they will support smaller scale companies. So they would be the best players to support the startups who would be working in small scale in the area of decarbonization. So another initiative is called Disclosure G, which is the support of information disclosure in English. And there are many SMEs in the growth market, but there are not many who are able to properly disclose their information in English. And only 934 in this field disclose their English information. And they are not looked at by the overseas investors. So it is not just about translating from Japanese to English. The support provided include the storylines that would be attractive to the overseas investors. So various support will be given to these companies. Sustainable finance has a wide scope, and Japan needs to collaborate with overseas. So internationalizing and globalizing the Tokyo market will be critical. And through these initiatives, we want to help the companies to become a global company. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming today. And I hope that you have taken away something that's good for yourself. Thank you once again. Thank you, Ms. Harada.